Welcome back, everyone, to another thrilling episode of The Curse of the Traveling Opera Troupe here on Raven's Spooky Stories channel. I hope you all are settling in for a wonderfully chilling listening experience tonight. Here at Raven, we specialize in tales of dark magic, curses, ghostly encounters, and all things mystically macabre. And remember, if you have a real-life brush with the paranormal you'd like to share, please send your story to our Raven Gmail address. But before we plunge into the supernatural, please hit that like button and subscribe to this YouTube channel to stay updated on all of our latest spooky releases. Now, without further ado, let's dive into the next part of our story. In the last episode, Raven recounted how Uncle Caleb managed to capture Silas's demon spirit and engage in a magical showdown with the shadowy figure backing Mr. High Company. So, to recap, the ritual was completed, and the evil spirit was finally contained. All that remained was for Silas to retrain the spirit at his home, essentially starting from scratch. Because, after that whole ordeal of the demon falling into the hands of another sorcerer, it had been completely corrupted. But, honestly, that's no longer important. What matters is that we managed to subdue it, stopping that other dark magic practitioner from wreaking any more havoc and from obeying the orders of that Julian Company character. As for what happens on that guy's side of the fence, let's just wash our hands of it. Let's pretend we know absolutely nothing about those folks. As the two men were talking, it was roughly 4 or 5 in the morning, and suddenly, someone arrived, urgently seeking help. But the person was calling out to Silas, not Uncle Caleb, seeing as this was the home of Silas and his wife. It turned out the person was a man named Tom. This Tom character came rushing in, saying, "There's this young girl, a performer with my opera troupe. I don't know what's gotten into her since late last night, but she's completely possessed by some malevolent spirit, and she's turning the whole camp upside down. I'm at my wit's end." I asked around, and the locals told me, "Go see Silas, he's young, but he's a really powerful shaman." That's why this Tom guy came here, hoping to get things sorted out before whatever is ailing the young woman, Elara, destroys everything. Otherwise, the troupe is going to fold, and we won't be able to perform anywhere anymore. When he arrived here, however, he not only found Silas but also another man, who of course was Uncle Caleb. Silas responded, "I'm afraid I'm exhausted. I just finished performing a complex magical ritual, and I just don't have the energy to do anything else right now. Why don't you explain everything to this gentleman here?" Seeing the urgency in the man's voice, Julian and his uncle decided to accompany the troupe to the performance site, hoping to get a sense of the situation. Before leaving, Uncle Caleb spoke to Silas, saying, "Silas, we are heading over to the opera troupe to help them out. After we finish our work, we will head straight home and won't be stopping by your house again. Also, remind Chin to come over and collect his boat tomorrow, since that's how he got here." Then, Julian and his uncle hopped in the car and followed Tom back to the troupe's camp. On the way, Tom started explaining the situation to Uncle Caleb. "Oh, my goodness, I don't know what's happening. There are so many people in our opera company. We have lead actresses, male leads, and everything in between. We also have supporting cast members, the folks who only sing a few lines before stepping back. Most of these people also iron clothes, assist with the costumes, or remind folks of their lines. We're all friends and family, helping each other out. If someone is a good singer, we will give them lead roles. There's this young woman named Elara in the company. She's also a friend of ours, so we invited her to join the troupe. In the past, she was a terrible singer. So, we just had her backstage organizing the costumes and ironing. If necessary, we would also have her prompt the performers." Prompting simply means that, when the lead actors are on stage and happen to forget their lines, she'd whisper the lines from backstage to help them remember. Everyone knows what I mean. She used to be a very sweet, docile person. But about a month or so ago, I swear, she became an amazing singer. I'm telling you, Uncle Caleb, her voice is so silky smooth that I wouldn't even recognize it as her own. She talks normally, but when she sings, her voice transforms, and it's just so beautiful. So, I thought, well, she's good enough now, so I'll put her in a few minor roles. I haven't given her a lead role yet, since we already have a lead actress. I'm telling you all about this girl. But I know why she's suddenly a good singer, but it's a long story, and I'll tell you later. But right now, we have an issue at the camp, and it's like this. Our troupe just moved to this location a day or two ago, so we haven't performed yet. You see, we have to ask permission from the local authorities who manage the communal hall and shrine to use the land to set up our tent. After setting up, we built temporary housing for the performers to sleep in. We also constructed the stage. I was planning to finish everything today and then spread the word so the locals know we're performing tomorrow. We haven't performed yet, and tonight, we already have an issue. Ever since I got into this business, I've always made sure to offer ample offerings to the deities, asking for permission from the earth gods to build here. I fear any disruption or being forbidden to perform. People in the performing arts are just like that. I'm afraid of offending any spirits, or I won't be able to perform. When we arrived here, I set up an altar to the patron saint of the theater and held many ceremonies before doing anything else. But for some reason, starting about a month ago, every time we go somewhere, at least one person in the troupe starts getting spooked. I've never seen anyone possessed before, but last night, I did. After Elara, the girl I just told you about, finished her work and everyone was getting ready for bed, her roommate noticed that she wasn't in her bed. It was the middle of the night, so there's no way she could have gone far, and the area is new to all of us. So, she got worried and went looking for her. She found Elara walking outside her sleeping quarters. She was walking strangely, all hunched over and unsteady. She was walking on her tiptoes, with her heels raised, as if she were wearing high heels, even though she wasn't wearing any shoes. I was lying on my cot near the stage, and I was half asleep. I opened my eyes and saw her. I was thinking to myself, why is she walking like that? But I didn't say anything. I just wanted to see what she was doing. I slowly sat up, and I watched her walk slowly from behind the stage and onto the stage. She walked right past me. Her eyes were completely black, and I couldn't see the whites of her eyes at all. She walked to the center of the stage and stopped. She crossed her legs and stood on her tiptoes as she looked up at the roof of the tent. Saliva was drooling out of her mouth. I immediately knew she was possessed. But I was thinking, we've offered so many offerings everywhere we go, and she's never been possessed before. Why now? Maybe we did something here to anger the spirits. I felt very strange, so I immediately got up. When I sat up, I saw her walking back and forth in the same way as if she was performing a play. Then she started singing. I swear, Uncle Caleb, I've seen so many plays, but I've never heard that song before, bringing such woes. It breaks my heart. I'm beautiful but I died, but my spirit never cries. Still here, still in this mortal realm, but in this mortal realm, everyone's so scared, no one dares to come near. But I said that everyone had to wake up to restrain her. She was possessed. She was standing and pacing as if she was in a play. She had makeup on her face. I got the altar and the wine offering cups and tried to pour it into her mouth to see if she would stop. It said that if someone is possessed, drinking that will scare the spirit away. I barely touched the cup to her mouth before she started shaking as if she were freezing, and then she spit it all out. I looked at her puke, and it wasn't water, but a dark, sludgy substance that looked like blood. It smelled like blood, but it was black, not red like normal blood. We were sleeping backstage at the opera, not at the communal hall. So I said that things were bad, and we should move her to the communal hall and tie her up. Otherwise, she might run around in the middle of the night, and that would be awful. After tying her up, I went outside and offered more sacrifices, but she couldn't escape. I've just arrived here, so I don't know any shamans. So, I asked some of the neighbors, and they told me about Silas here. He finished talking, and the car soon arrived at the communal hall. It wasn't too far from Silas's house. Caleb got out of the car and saw Elara lying on a bamboo bed. Her arms and legs were tied tightly to the bed. He stood there, and Elara glared at him. She smirked evilly. Caleb waited to see what she would do. She started squirming on the bed, getting more and more agitated. Caleb noticed that the four legs of the bamboo bed were starting to lift off the ground a little. Elara was doing it on her own. No one was touching her. She was screaming, "The body is mine. You won't take it from me. The body is mine." Caleb asked, "What do you want with her body? Tell me." As he spoke, he pulled out a charm. Before he could do anything, Caleb saw Elara's eyes roll back, revealing the whites of her eyes. She looked gentle again and no longer glared at him. She looked confused. Caleb saw that as soon as Elara's eyes returned to normal, the bamboo bed fell back down to the ground with a thud. She immediately fainted. Right after she fainted, he saw smoke coming out of her mouth, slowly floating away. At first, the smoke moved slowly. But as Caleb watched, the smoke sped up and flew out the door of the communal hall. Caleb tried to catch it, but he was too slow. As soon as it left the hall, it disappeared. Caleb said, "Come inside. Don't chase it. We can't catch it yet." After Elara was recovering, Caleb went backstage and asked the manager and some of the actors what happened to Elara. At that time, one of the actors, Lou, who was one of the leading actors in the troupe, said, "I don't know, but before she couldn't sing well. So Tom didn't let her sing. He only let her prompt the cast. But recently, she started singing so well, so Tom let her sing." Caleb looked at Elara. She was so beautiful. If he didn't know she couldn't sing, he would have thought she was the lead actress. Lou continued, "Actually, she's been acting strange for a few months. A few months ago, when the troupe was in SOC training, I saw her acting strange." Caleb asked, "Strange how?" He replied, "Elara has been with the troupe for over 2 years. When she first came, the manager thought she was pretty, but she couldn't sing. He let her sing to test her ability. If she sang well, he would assign her to a part. But she sang so badly, and her voice was scratchy. But he could see she wanted to join the troupe, so the manager said she could iron the clothes and arrange things for the other actors. He said she could stand backstage and whisper the lines to them, and slowly practice singing, and if she got better, he'd let her sing. She's been good and quiet ever since. She's never fought with anyone. But a few months ago, Elara and Willow argued. Willow is also in the troupe, and she hasn't been promoted to lead yet. They argued because Elara was talking to Willow and said, "I think you're so beautiful and talented. I want to be like you so the manager will let me sing, and people will clap for me." She was just being honest, and she wanted to be on stage. But Willow, half jokingly and half seriously, said, "I was born a phoenix, so I sing like a phoenix. You sing like a duck. So you can stand backstage and recite lines." Willow is crude, but she was just joking, and didn't think anything of it. But Elara was offended, so she immediately argued back. She said, "Don't make fun of me. I'm important, too. You wait and see, I'm going to be the lead actress. What are you so proud of?" After she said that, Elara went backstage. They've never argued before. Willow must have said something that offended her, so she said that. Everyone backstage heard their argument clearly. Tom, the manager, said, "I remember that day." After they argued, everything went back to normal. But then, late at night, Loy said to me, "Sterling, can I take a few days off? There's an emergency at home, and I have to go home." I was so shocked. Asked, "What's the big rush? Why are you leaving in the middle of the tour? Couldn't you just wait until the troupe finishes performing and then head back? Just how urgent is this?" She didn't say, only that there was an emergency at home, nothing more, nothing less. I figured her folks were sick or something, so I just sighed and let her go. So, in the middle of the night, she starts gathering her belongings, all sorts of odds and ends, and sneaks out the back, not the front, mind you. At the time, I didn't think much of it, figuring she really had something going on at home, and I didn't want to stand in her way. But then, one of the ladies in the troupe, Serafina, the leading lady who sings the main roles, she says to me, "Hey, boss, I just remembered something." The night Loy left, I suddenly saw her sitting there, hair a mess, like she'd just been in a fight with someone. Before I could even ask what was up, she just slinked off towards the back door. Now, our troupe is a traveling one, the setup's just temporary, so she just went straight out the back. I saw her with her hands clasped behind her, holding some kind of bundle, and she had some yellowish paper clutched in her hand, looked just like the talisman I've got hanging at home. I thought to myself, what's that girl doing wandering around with some kind of charm at this hour? And then she continued, I saw her head straight for the bushes out back, that trambow bush or something, I don't quite recall. She crawled in there and just sat, all hunched over. I wondered what she was up to, just squatting out there like she was taking a dump. So I didn't say anything. But after a while, I didn't see her come back in, but I heard singing coming from that bush. That singing was something else, sounded just like listening to Tan Na and Tan Sang singing Kai Luong together. It was so amazing and so sweet. Man, I thought, could that be her singing? Because besides her, there was no one else out there. But this girl's voice has always been like a raspy duck's, nobody could stand listening to it. So it probably wasn't her voice. She sang for a couple of verses or so, then it went silent, didn't hear anything more. So I went to my mat to lie down. But I didn't sleep near her, so I didn't know if she came back in or not. Truth be told, Loy never came back in. From that moment on, she just took off, whether she went home or somewhere else, nobody knew. She only came back a few days later, by which time the troupe had finished performing and was packing up to move on to another town. She came back and helped with the cleanup, like nothing had happened at all. Things started getting weird when we moved the troupe to another place. The thing is, in the new place, Serafina, the leading lady, was sleeping next to Loy. Serafina told me, oh my God, every night, without fail, just when I'm falling into a deep sleep, I hear what sounds like someone grinding their teeth, kio kio kio, grinding away. Can't get any sleep at all. Serafina would open her eyes and see Loy lying next to her, her teeth clenched tight, grinding, grinding, grinding away. She was grinding every groove of her teeth. Serafina would poke her on the shoulder, hey, Loy, stop it, stop it. No matter what, she wouldn't wake up. It was terrifying. She'd grind and gnash, gnashing on her own tongue even. But when Serafina poked her, Loy wouldn't wake up, she'd just open her eyes. Serafina was totally freaked out because Loy's eyes only had the black part, no white at all. She ran out and yelled, hey boss, come look at Loy's eyes, something's wrong with them. A whole crowd gathered around to look, but they saw her eyes were normal. She opened her eyes like normal and asked, "What's wrong? Why are you all staring at me like that?" My God, nobody thought anything of it, except for Serafina, who was the only one who saw it. Just you wait, the next day is when things really got crazy. So the next day, after the troupe had set everything up, we'd already announced to the locals that tonight we'd be performing this play and that play. In this play, Willow was playing the leading lady. But wouldn't you know it, Willow suddenly lost her voice that day. She couldn't sing at all. I didn't know what to do. We'd already made the announcement to the locals. She could only sing one line before her voice would just crack and rasp. She just couldn't sing. Oh man, what am I going to do? I'm telling you, Caleb, I was totally stressed out. I was scared to death. What if the locals came and there was nobody to play the role? The whole show would be ruined. We'd lose all our credibility and reputation. I was so scared. Nothing like this had ever happened before. Man, I was a mess, yelling for this one and that one to sing, but nobody knew the part. Well, even if they didn't know the part, they could still sing, and someone could prompt them from behind the scenes, but their voices weren't right. They weren't good. What were they going to sing? Then suddenly, Lois said, hey boss, let me try singing the role." I didn't want to. I said, "Oh my God, what are you going to sing with that voice of yours? Don't get me wrong, but that voice of yours just isn't right for the part. Go see if anyone else in the group can sing it." She said, "No, boss, just listen to me sing, just listen to me and you'll agree to let me." I reluctantly agreed to listen to her sing. And oh my God, Caleb, you know, she'd only sung one line and everyone was staring at her in shock. Everyone's eyes were wide open. "Hey, Loy, how can you sing so well? Who taught you to sing so well?" Nobody could believe it. It was so strange. I heard her and I thought she really sang well. She sang so sweetly. Willow couldn't compare to her. But if you paid attention, if you listened closely, when she sang, when she hit the high notes, it didn't sound like her voice, it sounded like someone else's voice. My God, it was like some female singer had possessed her. That's what it felt like to me. It was so strange. Singing was one thing, but talking was another. While the people in the troupe, their normal speaking voice was the same, but when they sang, it was still their voice, just better. But this girl was different. But whatever, I didn't care about that, because the situation was too urgent. The show was about to start. So I said, "All right, now go put on makeup quickly, put on Willow's costume, put it on quickly and go sing for me." That's what happened. And unexpectedly, she performed. I'm telling you, she performed so sweetly, exactly according to the script. Everyone applauded wildly. So after that performance, everyone asked, "Hey, how can you sing so well?" My God. She sang without even needing prompting. When asked, she just smiled. She didn't say anything. So I just thought, well, she used to be bad. She followed the troupe and didn't compete with anyone. Maybe the patron gods took pity on her. Oh well, I was happy. If she could sing well, maybe I'd give her leading roles in the future. So after that day, the boss gave Loy the responsibility of singing the new plays too. That's why when we toured to another place, whenever Loy sang, the audience would applaud wildly. Because her singing was so sweet. Oh my God, just like a leading artist from Saigon. If only this situation had lasted, everyone would have been happy, everyone would have rejoiced. But it only lasted 3 days, then strange things started happening in the troupe again. The first strange thing was the day before the performance. Serafina was sitting in front of the makeup table, putting on her makeup. Singing Ho Kwam, so she was wearing very thick costumes, and putting on layers of makeup. She was putting on makeup when she suddenly screamed. She said, "Oh my God, oh my God. Someone, She stood up from the makeup table. The boss asked, "Hey, what's wrong? What's wrong? Why are you suddenly screaming?" Then Serafina said, "Oh my God, boss, oh my God." I looked at my face, and behind me, there was a face like it was behind my head, then it leaned over like this. I saw it clearly. The face was just like a demon's face. Oh my God, it bared its teeth, showing the upper and lower canines. With 4 fangs, the face was pitch black. It was horrifying. Oh my God, is this place haunted? Then the boss looked around, but there was no one there. No one at all. But the boss said that since we were touring in this place, it was likely that there were ghosts. All right, now put on makeup quickly and go sing. Just you wait, that was just the first thing that happened before the performance. After putting on makeup, we performed a play that day. The play was Bao Tan Thien Judges Pon Kui 5 for stealing the dragon and switching the phoenix. In this play, Loy played the role of Chan Kung, Willow, the one who argued with Loy. Willow played the role of Princess Phi Long. Serafina, the one from earlier, played the role of Pon Kui Phi, and she sang just fine. Nothing happened. Until the part where Princess Phi Long fought. I don't know who she fought with. Raven doesn't remember clearly. Maybe she was fighting with her husband or something. In that scene, in the middle of the play, Princess Phi Long was fighting. Phi Long held the sword and slashed across her neck, and then she froze. Right then, the play transitioned to another scene, so Willow's role was over. Willow started carrying the fake sword, the prop sword, and went backstage, waiting until it was her turn to act again. After that, everyone continued singing on stage, and the audience was applauding wildly. People in the Mekong Delta really loved it. Then, backstage, we heard Willow screaming in pain, saying, "Oh my God, oh my God. Hey, look at my neck. Why does it hurt so bad?" Looking at it, the collar of the performance costume, the long dress, the collar was stained with blood. It was bleeding. Blood was on the collar, all red. Looking at the neck, there was a mark like we had taken a knife and slashed it across the neck. It was nearly cut, but not too deep. Everyone was terrified. The boss asked, "Hey, when you were performing, were you too into it and pulled the sword too hard, so that's why you got hurt and it's bleeding like this?" But Willow said, "No, that's not right, not at all, because in that scene, Princess Phi Long just holds the sword to her neck. She doesn't pull it at all, and then it transitions to the next scene. So how could I have cut my neck? Besides, this sword is a prop sword. It's not sharp or anything. It's just made of wood." Oh my God, it was weird. Why was it so strange? Willow was very scared, and she kept dabbing the blood on her neck. Luckily, the cut wasn't deep, or who knows what would have happened that night. That night, after we finished singing, we counted the ticket money, and then everyone went to sleep, spreading out to sleep in rows. The place where Loy was sleeping, tonight she just wanted to sleep alone. She didn't want to sleep near anyone. In the middle of the night, the boss heard a sound like someone laughing, like someone was talking and joking and laughing. The sound was coming from outside the temple, like someone was sitting outside. So he couldn't sleep. He groggily sat up and looked. He walked around the yard but didn't see anyone. He counted the people in the troupe and everyone was there. Nobody was missing. So why was someone sitting here laughing? So he crawled back into his mosquito net. The boss was sleeping next to Chan Lu. When he crawled into the mosquito net, he saw Lu was awake, looking towards the yard, towards where Loy was sleeping. So he asked, "Hey, what are you doing staring like that?" Lu signaled for him not to talk. He just motioned for him to look towards where Loy was sleeping. The boss looked and he froze in place. He saw that in Loy's mosquito net there was a girl sitting hunched over on Loy's stomach, while Loy was still sleeping like the dead, not knowing anything. Sleeping while someone was sitting on her stomach. The girl was wearing a white bobby shirt, and her head was slumped down. Her hair was covering her face. We couldn't see her face at all. She was just sitting there. Lou was very scared and was about to scream, but he signaled for Lou, "Don't scream, don't scream." But nobody dared to scream, because they were all speechless. The boss saw that the girl sitting on her stomach was slowly, curling up, and then she shrunk smaller and smaller, like she was being absorbed into Loy's neck. It was so strange. It was the first time in his life that the boss had seen that scene. And both of them saw it. So early in the morning when Loy woke up, the boss asked her immediately. He asked, "Loy, last night, did you see anything while you were sleeping?" Loy replied blankly, "No, I didn't see anything. I slept like the dead. I didn't know anything." So he asked her, "Well, when did you get that necklace you're wearing on your neck? I've never seen it before." Because today he noticed that Loy was wearing a necklace on her neck. He'd seen it before, but he hadn't paid attention to it. Then Loy said, "Oh my God, people in the audience who liked my performance gave it to me, that's all." She said that and there was nothing more to ask. Looking at the pendant, it was shaped like a triangle, and it looked like it had a layer of nylon on the outside, and inside was a talisman. That's what it looked like. 2 days later, the troupe moved to another place. When we got to that place, nothing happened during the performance. After the performance, everyone took off their costumes and left them in the costume room behind the scenes. By then, everyone had gone to sleep. While sleeping, the boss heard a sound like someone rummaging through belongings and dropping things all over the place. He went to look behind the scenes by himself. The closer he got, the louder he heard a laughing sound, hack hack hack, laughing in a harsh way, not a happy laugh. It was strange. Oh my God, he peeked his head in and saw that behind the curtain there was a face peeking out, looking at him. When it bared its teeth, every tooth was sharp. Only the 2 teeth on the outer edges were sharp like fangs. He was terrified and ran outside immediately. He didn't dare to go back in. He waited until morning. When he got to his sleeping place, he said, "Oh my God, could Serafina have been right that day? Could it be true that the dressing room is haunted? I thought the ghosts only haunted that place over there. Today the troupe moved to a new place. We're not performing in the old place anymore, so why are we still being haunted?" Then he continued to think about the image of someone sitting on Loy's stomach. Looking at the face, it was exactly the same. Why did someone crawl right into her neck? It must be related to her. But he didn't dare to tell anyone. He only told Lou, because those two were the only ones who saw the girl sitting on Loy's stomach. After the strange things happened, the only thing that everyone knew about was Willow getting her neck cut after performing the play Judging Pong Kui Phi. As for the story of seeing the demon, no one had seen it except Serafina, who was haunted that one time. Maybe Serafina told everyone, so everyone was scared. But people were more afraid of Loy. Why did Loy have to wear that necklace? It must have something to do with. Ghosts and demons kept bothering us. I'd suspected it for a long time. The climax came after that day. It was already late afternoon. We set out the food. Everyone was sitting together, ready to eat. Only Elara was missing. Hey, where is she? The boss went to look for her. When he went in, he saw Elara was still sitting at the makeup table. She was still putting on makeup, but there wasn't any performance yet. Oh my God, what is this girl drawing on her face? Elara was sitting with her back to the boss. Elara, Elara, eat, come out and eat. Elara didn't answer. The boss called out again, and then Elara turned around. Huh. With her mouth wide open, her eyes bulging, the boss knew immediately, oh crap, she's possessed again. Before he could do anything, Elara stood up abruptly. My lord. My lord. This body is mine. The body is mine. Mine. She was creating a ruckus, knocking everything over. The boss yelled, and the people in the troop ran in to restrain her. But Elara was as strong as an ox. Nobody could do anything. Men, women, whoever touched her, she would throw them aside. The boss tried to grab Elara's shoulders so she wouldn't break things, or else we wouldn't have costumes to perform in tonight. While grabbing her, he didn't have anything to hold. Clutching, I inadvertently grabbed the necklace. Elara whipped her head forward, tilting her body in the same direction. The boss stumbled backward, and the necklace snapped, falling to the ground. The moment the necklace hit the ground, Elara collapsed, completely unconscious. Yet, at that point, nobody suspected any connection between the necklace and Elara's condition. They decided to let her lie there, planning to question her when she woke up. As for the necklace, the boss gathered it up and placed it on the pillow next to Elara's head. Later, when Elara woke up and came out for dinner, everyone pounced with questions. Hey, do you know if you were possessed by some kind of spirit or demon just now? I have no idea what you're talking about. How weird. You were just sleeping the whole time? Every time they asked, Elara would deny any knowledge, claiming ignorance. It was hard to tell if she was genuinely unaware or deliberately feigning ignorance. All right, just eat something, and you're on tonight. But that day, the boss noticed Elara looked increasingly unwell. She seemed to be shrinking slightly. She always got enough sleep, and she used to go to bed early, not staying up late like she had been recently. Why are her eyes so dark and sunken? That's really strange. Suddenly, while they were eating, Elara touched her neck and exclaimed, "Hey, boss, where's my necklace?" The boss replied, "You got possessed earlier, and it fell off. I picked it up and put it next to your head." It seemed this necklace was very important to Elara. Just then, some of the younger members of the troupe asked, "Why is Elara suddenly getting possessed by spirits so often? It's so weird. We've never had anything like this happen in our troupe before." Elara replied, "Oh my gosh, it's probably because the offerings weren't accepted. So, the spirits are coming back to cause trouble, but I don't even know if I'm possessed or not." But that wasn't the case. Blaming the disturbances on unhappy spirits wasn't accurate. Since the troupe's inception, they always made offerings at every location, so it wasn't a matter of neglecting a particular place that had never been appeased before. Why was this happening now? They were getting haunted and disturbed in every province and every location, and only Elara was getting possessed. Suddenly, Serafina blurted out, "Hey, I'm going to ask you straight. The day you argued with Willow, were you so angry that you put a curse on her? Did you jinx her? Did you jinx her so this troupe would be sabotaged? Tell the truth." There was no way Elara would confess to that. She immediately denied it. "No way. I don't know anything about spells or witchcraft. Don't accuse me like that." And it was true. Aside from that argument, Elara had never held a grudge against anyone. Then, 3 days later, on the night the troupe was performing Severed Sword of Grief, the lights suddenly went out during the performance. And these lights operated on batteries. Simultaneously, the musicians sitting below noticed that the strings on all their instruments snapped at once. They couldn't play any music. They had to try switching to another battery to see if it would work. The other battery worked, and the lights came back on, but the instruments were still useless. So, they had to change the program. People had paid to see a show, so they couldn't just stop. They had to switch to a circus act, then a comedy act, and whatever else they could come up with. The musicians started talking amongst themselves. "Hey, that's so weird. While we were playing, it felt like someone was sitting right behind us, breathing on the back of our necks. That's when the strings all snapped. All three of us, at the same time. In general, the performance that night was a complete disaster. Then, late at night, after everyone had removed their makeup and washed up, they went to bed. After lying down for a while, they started hearing arguing again, coming from Elara's sleeping area. It turned out Elara and Willow were arguing again. Willow was furious. She asked directly, "Hey, Elara, tell me the truth. Did you put a curse on me? Did you curse the entire troupe? I know it. I know when I said that, I hurt your pride, and you've been holding a grudge. I feel like I can't eat anything, and I can't sing anymore. I think you're the one who's cursing me. I heard Lou say that the other day, he saw you holding a charm. You took it from the troupe and went behind the theater with it. I'm not sure, but I suspect it. If you have any decency left, if you care about your sisters in this troupe, confess the truth. Just undo whatever you did so the troupe can perform smoothly. I'm so tired of dealing with all this trouble. And if this keeps happening, how will the boss have money to pay us?" She started sobbing. The boss came out and chimed in. "Tell the truth, do you have something to confess? People are saying things, but we're not sure, we're just asking. If you don't, then never mind." Elara continued to deny it. "No, I don't use any spells or witchcraft. Why are you accusing me? All right, go to sleep." Willow was usually gentle, and after some back and forth, she calmed down and apologized. "Well, if you didn't do anything, then I'm sorry." But she was still angry inside, and she didn't want to talk to Elara. Elara hunched over and started crying, as if she was incredibly upset. All right, stop crying and go to sleep." Willow had just turned around to go back to her sleeping area when Elara suddenly lifted her head, eyes wide and filled with rage, and went straight behind Willow, grabbing her by the throat. The boss ran over immediately, but Elara was too strong. He couldn't get close to her. "Oh my God! What's happening?" Willow started screaming, her eyes rolling back, because Elara was strangling her. In a moment of panic, the boss remembered. "That's it. Rip off the necklace and see if she faints." Sure enough, he ripped the necklace off again, and Elara fainted again. The day before, while they were eating, Elara had asked about the necklace, and he'd told her where it was. So, she had put it back on. This time, when he ripped off the necklace and Elara fainted, he knew the necklace was the problem. She must have been keeping some kind of demon or spirit in that necklace that was hurting people and sabotaging the troupe. After waiting for Elara to wake up, the boss asked her, "Now, tell me the truth. Did you raise a demon or spirit in that necklace? Who led you to do that? You didn't know anything about this before. Who's behind you, teaching you these things? Think about it. If you keep a demon or spirit in there, it's going to wreak havoc on the troupe every day, and how will we earn a living? The money we make feeds you and your parents back home. Think carefully. I don't need you to explain anything. I know everything, so you don't have to tell me. I just need you to get rid of that necklace. If you get rid of it, I'll let you stay with the troupe. If not, then you can go somewhere else to work." The boss was still being lenient, so Elara just begged. "Please, let me stay and perform. I'll get rid of the necklace. I won't wear it anymore." She didn't confirm or deny raising a demon or using witchcraft. She just avoided the issue and said she would get rid of the necklace and not wear it anymore. The boss agreed. "You're going to get rid of it right now, in front of me." Then, he handed the necklace back to Elara. "Go get rid of it." Elara took the necklace, felt it in her hand, and walked straight out back. They saw her clearly throw it far into the river. The boss said, "Okay, that should be fine. If you throw away a demon or spirit, it probably won't follow you." I couldn't bring myself to chase her away. It was the only thing that I could think of, so I left it at that. Things returned to normal. 2 weeks later, one night, the boss was lying down when he heard someone walking heavily on the stage. The stage was a makeshift structure made of thin wooden boards, so anyone heavy walking on it would make a loud thumping sound. He said to himself, "Who's walking around at this hour?" He stepped out to investigate but didn't see anyone. He only looked down at the wooden planks. He could see the wooden planks slightly moving, and he knew he was in trouble. As he was about to turn around and go back inside, he heard footsteps again. He looked down and saw black footprints on the wooden planks, as if someone had stepped in grease or blood. They stretched across the floor, but he couldn't find anyone. He thought about waking up the other members of the troupe to help him clean up the footprints, but before he could, he saw something on the stage's support beam, a woman sitting up there. She jumped down from above, somehow managing to clamp her legs around the boss's neck. He couldn't take it. He screamed, "Help me! Help me! It's a ghost!" He dropped his oil lamp, and as it fell, the oil spread across the fabric and started a fire. Luckily, the other members of the troupe came quickly and put out the fire before it could engulf the whole theater. After they put out the fire and cleaned up, the boss sat down to collect his thoughts. The boss then said, "Did she pretend to throw away that necklace? Did she keep it, and that's why demons are haunting us again? So weird." He dragged Elara out and asked, "Hey, did you throw away that necklace like I told you to?" Elara said, "I threw it away. I tossed it in the river. I don't have it on me." This time, Willow was furious and said, "Tell the truth. Did you throw it away, or did you secretly hide it and keep using it?" As soon as she said that, she started searching Elara's pockets and clothes, trying to see if she was hiding it, but she couldn't find anything. Elara said, "See? Why are you interrogating me? I told you I threw it away. There's nothing here." Now that they couldn't find it, they couldn't accuse her of anything. Everyone reluctantly went back to sleep. It seemed like it was one of those nights where the haunting never stopped. The boss was sleeping when he saw that Elara wasn't sleeping either. He then said to her, "Hey, are you sleeping now? Why are you singing? Let people sleep. Stop singing at this hour. It's not okay." As soon as he said that, Elara turned to look at him. He then said, "Hey, go to sleep." As they were looking at each other, he heard Elara's voice come from the side of the stage, as if she had just walked out from the wings. He turned and looked. "What are you doing here?" Elara casually replied, "I had to pee. I was sleeping and needed to pee, so I went to the back." The boss almost had a heart attack. "Then who's in your sleeping area, singing? Were you singing just now?" Elara said, "No, I wasn't singing. I went to pee." When they looked at her sleeping area, no one was there. "Oh no. Are you secretly still using it? Are you refusing to admit it?" But when they looked closely, Elara wasn't wearing the necklace anymore. But they still weren't sure whether she had actually thrown it away. He went back to his sleeping area and tried to go to sleep, but he couldn't. The next day, while they were performing, Elara was singing on stage. Then she couldn't sing anymore and started coughing. Coughing so hard that she started throwing up blood. She collapsed on stage. The entire troupe had to stop the show and rush her to the hospital to find out what was wrong with her. At the hospital, the doctors told them that she was physically weak, not eating properly, and pregnant. The boss was shocked when he heard this. She was only 22 or 23 years old, and who could she be pregnant by? She had been with the troupe for so long and hadn't shown any interest in anyone. So, who could she be pregnant by? Had someone in the troupe slept with her and gotten her pregnant? He went back and asked everyone in the troupe, but no one confessed. And lately, Elara had been sleeping alone, not with anyone else. He was so angry. When they brought her back to the troupe, the boss asked her again, "Who are you pregnant by?" Elara then said, "Last month, when we were performing in SOC Trang, you assigned me to go to the market. When I was coming back from the market that day, I don't know what happened, but someone hit me from behind. I couldn't defend myself and passed out. When I woke up, I was lying next to the road. My things were on one side, and I was lying on the other. I wasn't wearing any clothes. I felt pain and knew that they had taken advantage of me. I went back to the troupe, but I didn't dare tell anyone. I was afraid of causing a scene, so I kept it a secret until now." The boss asked, "So, what are you going to do? How are we going to handle this?" He felt sympathy for her. He couldn't believe she had been through something like that without telling anyone. He then said, "Let's just keep it quiet for now. I don't know what to do either. We can't just abandon you, but what will we do when your belly gets bigger and you can't perform?" The boss didn't know what to say. He tried to remember if there was a day in SOC Trang when she had come back late and been bruised. But he couldn't remember any such incident. In fact, he couldn't remember her going to the market at all, so why was she lying? The ghostly events continued, as I had foreseen. The climax came after that day, as the sun was setting. Dinner was served, and everyone was gathered, waiting to start eating. But Elara was nowhere to be found. Where could that girl be? The boss stood up to look for her. As soon as he entered, he saw Elara was still sitting in front of her makeup table. Her face was covered in gaudy makeup, and she hadn't even started preparing for the performance. What in the world is she doing with that makeup? Elara was sitting with her back to the boss. He called out, "Elara, Elara, dinner is ready, come eat." His only response was silence. The boss angrily called out louder, "Elara." This time, Elara slowly turned around. Huh. Her mouth was gaping, and her eyes were rolled back. The boss thought to himself, "Oh no, she's possessed again." Before he could react, Elara jumped up and screamed, "My lord! My lord! This body is mine! This body is mine! Mine!" She started thrashing around, knocking everything over. The boss yelled in panic, and the other members of the troupe rushed in to restrain her. But Elara was as strong as a mad ox, and no one could hold her back. Anyone who tried to touch her was thrown away. The boss desperately grabbed Elara's shoulders, hoping she wouldn't destroy the props, or they wouldn't have anything to use for the performance that night. During the struggle, he had nothing to hold onto, so he inadvertently grabbed the necklace on her neck. Elara immediately snapped her head back, tilting her body forward with the momentum. The boss was pulled backward. The necklace snapped off and fell to the ground. As soon as the necklace came off her neck, Elara collapsed, completely unconscious. But at that moment, no one paid attention to the connection between the necklace and Elara's condition. They just let her lie there, planning to question her when she woke up. As for the necklace, the boss carefully picked it up and placed it on the pillow next to Elara's head. When Elara woke up and slowly came out to eat, everyone surrounded her and started asking questions. "Hey, did you know you were possessed by a spirit just now?" Elara blankly replied, I don't know anything." Everyone was surprised. "How strange. Were you just sleeping the whole time?" As always, whenever they asked about it, Elara would flatly deny everything when possessed, insisting she knew nothing. It was unclear whether she was genuinely ignorant or merely pretending. All right, just eat up. You have a performance tonight." Though he said this, the theater owner couldn't help but worry. He had noticed today that Elara was showing signs of illness, looking a bit gaunt. She had been getting enough sleep, but Elara never used to sleep as late as she had been recently. Why are her eyes so dark? That's really strange. As they were eating, Elara suddenly touched her neck and frantically asked, "Hey, Mr. Theater Owner, where's my necklace?" The theater owner replied, "Well, you were possessed earlier, and it fell off. I picked it up and put it on the head of your bed." Elara seemed to deeply value this necklace. Just then, the younger members of the troupe chimed in, "Hey, why has Elara been getting possessed so often lately? It's so weird. Our troupe has never had anything like this happen before." Elara immediately defended herself. "Oh my gosh, it must be because the offerings weren't properly made. So the spirits are coming back to cause trouble, but I don't know anything about being possessed." But this explanation didn't ring true. It wasn't accurate to say they were being bothered by spirits lately because the troupe had always made sufficient offerings wherever they went. It wasn't as if they were stuck in one place and had never been disturbed before. Instead, recently, it seemed that every province they visited experienced disturbances and possessions, and Elara was the only one getting possessed. Suddenly, Serafina blurted out, "Hey, I'm serious. Did you put a curse on Willow after you two argued? Did you curse her so that this troupe would be disrupted? Tell the truth." Hearing this, Elara loudly denied it. "No way. I don't even know what spells or curses are. Don't falsely accuse me." On reflection, it was true that apart from that argument, Elara had never had any conflicts or altercations with anyone. A few days later, one evening, the traveling theater was performing the play Loi Kim Don Truong, A Sword of Endless Sorrow. They were in the middle of a great performance when suddenly the entire troupe was plunged into darkness due to a power outage, even though they were using battery power. At the same time, the musicians sitting below cried out in unison. The strings on every one of their instruments had snapped. As a result, they couldn't play or sing. Faced with this situation, everyone hurriedly replaced the battery, and luckily the power came back on, but the instruments were still useless. With no other choice, the troupe had to change the program. Because the audience had paid for tickets, they couldn't just stop the show. So they had to replace the play with variety acts like acrobatics and comedy. Meanwhile, the musicians gathered to discuss what had happened. "Hey, this is so weird. I was playing my instrument when suddenly I felt like someone was sitting right behind me, touching the back of my neck, and then with a whoosh sound, the string just snapped. It happened to all three of us at the same time. That's what's so strange." In general, the performance that night was a mess. Late that night, after everyone had removed their makeup and washed their faces, they listlessly went to bed. After lying down for a while, they suddenly heard an argument, and it was coming from Elara's sleeping area. It turned out Elara was arguing with Willow again. Because she was so annoyed, Willow couldn't contain herself and asked directly, "Hey, Elara, tell me the truth. Have you been using spells or curses to harm me? You've even harmed the entire troupe." I know it. The day I accidentally offended you, you held it in, you hated me, so you've been secretly trying to hurt me." Lately, I've been feeling listless, not eating well, not sleeping well, and my singing is off key. I think it's because you hate me, so you've been secretly harming me. I heard Lou say that the other day she saw you secretly holding a talisman, going to the back of the theater. I'm not completely sure, I'm just guessing. If you have any humanity left, if you still consider us sisters in the troupe, then tell the truth, admit it, and I promise I won't be angry. You just need to remove the curse so that this troupe can have some peace and make a living. I'm so tired of all these problems, one after another. And think about it, if this continues, where will the theater owner get the money to pay us? He'll go bankrupt soon. The theater owner also came out to mediate. Elara, tell the truth, is it true or not? People are just saying things, but I don't know for sure. I'm just asking you to get to the bottom of it. If it's not true, then let it go. Elara still firmly denied it. No, I don't know how to use spells or curses. People are just falsely accusing me. Alright, everyone go back to sleep. Willow also softened her tone. If you didn't do it, then I apologize. Even so, Willow was still very upset and didn't want to talk to Elara anymore. Elara hung her head and sobbed, looking pitiful. Alright, stop crying and go to sleep. As Willow turned to go back to her sleeping area, Elara suddenly looked up, her eyes wide and fierce like a demon, and lunged at Willow, grabbing her neck. The theater owner panicked and rushed to intervene, but Elara was too strong, and he couldn't pry her off. Help! Help! Willow struggled to call for help in vain, her face turning pale as she was being strangled. In the chaos, the theater owner suddenly remembered the necklace. That's right, this girl snatched the necklace off. He forcefully pulled the necklace off Elara's neck. Just like before, as soon as the necklace broke, Elara immediately fainted. Because the day before, during dinner, Elara had asked him about the necklace, and he had told her where it was, so she had secretly reattached it and put it back on. Seeing this, the theater owner was even more convinced that there was something wrong with the necklace. Perhaps this girl had been raising a ghost or demon in the necklace and using it to harm people, harming his entire troupe. Waiting for Elara to wake up, the theater owner immediately questioned her. Now you have to tell me the truth. Have you been raising a ghost or demon in that necklace? Who told you to do that? You never knew anything about this before. Who's the one behind you, teaching you to do these evil things? Think about it. If you keep raising a ghost or demon like this, it will haunt our troupe every day. And how will we be able to do business? Where will we get the money to pay the bills and support our families? You need to think very carefully. Actually, I don't need you to explain much. I know everything already. You don't have to deny it. I just need you to get rid of that necklace. If you're willing to get rid of it, then I'll let you stay in the troupe, but if not, then you can go find your own way to make a living. The theater owner was still showing Elara some consideration, giving her a way out. Hearing this, Elara could only beg, "Please, Mr. Theater Owner, let me stay and perform. I promise I'll get rid of that necklace. I won't wear it anymore." She didn't admit to raising a ghost or demon, nor did she deny or defend herself. She just kept begging to stay in the troupe and promised to throw away the necklace. The theater owner reluctantly agreed. "All right, then take it and throw it away right now. Throw it away right in front of me." Then, he handed the necklace to Elara. She held the necklace in her hand, hesitated for a moment, then walked straight to the back and threw it into the river. That should be it. If she's thrown it away, then she should be fine. Because if we get rid of a ghost or demon, then it shouldn't follow us anymore. But I can't really bring myself to kick her out, so I'll just let it be. Everything then went back to normal. 2 weeks later, one late night, the theater owner was asleep when he suddenly heard a clattering sound coming from the stage. The troupe stage was temporarily constructed with thin wooden planks, so if anyone stepped on it, it would immediately make a clattering sound. The theater owner wondered, who's walking around at this hour? He cautiously went out to take a look but didn't see anyone. He looked down at the wooden planks and saw that they were slightly shaking and moving. He thought to himself, oh no, this is terrible, are we being haunted by ghosts and demons again? Before he could turn to leave, he heard footsteps. He quickly looked down and saw black footprints appearing on the surface of the wooden planks below his feet. He quickly shone his oil lamp and saw that the footprints were black, as if someone had just dipped their feet in oil or blood. They formed a long trail, stretching far ahead. He was extremely terrified and quickly searched around, but he still didn't see anyone. He planned to wake up the others in the troupe to help him clean up the footprints, but before he could speak, he suddenly saw a girl sitting on the post at the head of the troupe. Suddenly, the girl jumped down, clamping her legs tightly around the theater owner's neck. He was in extreme pain and screamed, "Ah! Ah!" It turns out that Elara has been through quite a lot. She was once taken to the market, where she was assaulted and taken advantage of. But honestly, at this point, with her being pregnant, she's probably forgotten all about that incident. I suspect that what happened to her was not consensual. She spent several days in the hospital before returning home. That's when her boss confronted her. "How could you be so cruel? I never gave you permission. Why did you abandon the child in secret?" Elara tearfully replied, "Oh, it's impossible to raise a child right now. I'm worried about not having enough money to support it, and being pregnant while performing would be too difficult and cumbersome. It's better to let it go. What's done is done, and the child can't be brought back." After that incident, Elara became weak and frail. She lost her strength to sing, and she grew increasingly thin. It was quite alarming. And that's not all. Just a few days ago, we had the most terrifying experience of all. We were getting ready for a performance. Elara wasn't scheduled to sing that night because she was still feeling unwell. She was sitting backstage, peeling the papayas and dragon fruits that the audience had given us. Once she finished, she asked Damien, "Go and bring these out. I can't carry them all. Take them out for the others in the troupe to eat." Damien went in, but he never came out. Instead, we heard Damien screaming for help. The theater owner rushed in and saw Elara sinking her teeth into Damien's neck. Oh my goodness! Damien could only flail his arms helplessly. Just like before, whenever Elara had an episode, no one could touch her. 4 or 5 people would try to restrain her, but no one could get close. Elara was holding a knife in her hand. It was terrifying. Damien was incredibly strong, and he tried to push her away. But Elara kept stabbing at him with the knife. Damien tried to dodge, but Elara had a firm grip on him, and he couldn't escape. So Elara plunged the knife into his inner thigh. He screamed in agony. At that point, everyone in the troupe was terrified. She was holding a knife, and no one dared to approach her. Elara suddenly collapsed, dropping the knife and crawling away in a bizarre manner. She crawled with her belly facing up, using her feet to push herself along. What to do now? Damien was in terrible pain, but he managed to restrain Elara and shouted, "Get a rope. Tie her up immediately." Some people went to find rope, while others tried to figure out how to prevent her from being possessed again. The theater owner said, "Last time, we removed her necklace, and she fainted. But this time, she's not wearing it. What do we do? Let's try tying her up and see if that works. We don't even know if the spirit has left her yet." But the theater owner said, "Stop. There will be no performance tonight. I'm going to find a shaman. I'll ask the locals if they know of any healers who can help her. We can't leave her like this." He frantically ran around, not knowing who to ask. By then, people were already arriving at the theater to watch the show. He asked them if they knew someone. A person directed him, "Go to Hai Tang's house. Asher is also a shaman. Go and ask him to come and take a look." When Asher arrived, he stood there, just staring at Elara. If he had immediately started to work, it would have been one thing. But this time, he just stood there, staring. He kept staring until Elara looked back at him. Saliva was drooling all over her face, and it was black. Then, Asher shook his head and said, "No, no, no. I can't heal her. This demon is too strong. This lineage is too powerful. I don't dare. I'm going home." He refused to help with the situation. As soon as he turned to leave, it felt like someone grabbed his collar. He fell backward, even though no one had touched him. He acted as if someone was hitting him, dodging and weaving. He looked as if he was being attacked. He was terrified. He practically wet himself. He left without a word. After he left, Elara fainted for a while, then woke up. She didn't remember anything. At this point, the people in the troupe agreed that Elara should be kicked out. She was too much trouble. Because of her, the troupe was in chaos. They wanted to get rid of her. But the theater owner refused. He said, "She's been here for 2 or 3 years. I can't just abandon her. Let's consider this her mistake, and we'll help her fix it. We can't leave her like this. It's not fair. I'm worried she'll die. Tomorrow, we'll move the troupe to another location and see if there are any shamans there who can help her." The truth is, we didn't know about Silas before. But when we arrived in Anjang, we asked the locals, and they directed us to Chuchina's house. The plan was to find a shaman after we finished performing. But before we could even finish the performance, this happened. It's impossible to live with her like this. So, we tied her up and came here to find Silas. You saw the result of what happened later. Now I've told you everything, and you understand. Caleb said, "Let's wait until she wakes up and then I'll ask her some questions. I can't ask her anything while she's unconscious." When she opened her eyes, the first thing she did was cough up blood. It gushed out from both sides of her mouth. He said, "Why do you hate someone here so much? Why did you bring in a curse and a demon? You put it in your necklace. I've only heard about the necklace, I haven't seen it. But I can guess that your necklace doesn't contain an ordinary charm, it contains a demon. Where did you get it? Who made it for you? Have you looked at yourself? Since the day you brought that curse, have you been able to eat anything? Your body is withering away. You're so skinny. You probably weigh only 35 kilograms. Elara didn't answer. Caleb took out a string, a round string like a necklace, but it was blessed. He tied it around Elara's neck. Wear this first, then you can talk. Elara looked around for a long time without saying anything, and Caleb didn't ask her anything either. Suddenly, Elara screamed, "It hurts. Oh! 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 It hurts." She kept hiding her hand. The theater owner asked, "What hurts? Where does it hurt? Show me. It hurts so much. I can't take it anymore." Then, Elara lifted her sleeve, and everyone saw that right under her armpit, the necklace was tied tightly. Somehow, the necklace was squeezing her arm, and it hurt terribly. She couldn't hide it anymore. Now everything was revealed. The theater owner asked, "Why did you lie? I told you to throw it away, and you said you did. I even believed you. But you secretly tied it under your armpit, doing everything you could to keep that necklace on your body? I knew it. I knew my suspicions were correct. You can't deny it anymore. He was so angry. He tore the necklace from under her armpit and threw it out the door. But Caleb shouted, "Hey, pick it up. This thing has a ghost or demon in it. If you throw it outside, someone might accidentally touch it and be possessed. Go and pick it up." Alright, so I gotta figure out what to do with her now. Caleb asked, "Lay it all out for me. Tell me everything, from start to finish. How did you even get involved with all this black magic stuff? Don't try to hide anything, everyone already knows." Elara knew she couldn't deny it any longer, so she confessed to Caleb. "It's because I can't sing well, but I really, really want to. I want to be up on that stage singing, and when people clap for me, I just love that feeling. But because I'm such a terrible singer, Willow would constantly criticize me, just relentlessly putting me down. It really hurt my feelings, my pride, you know. One day, we got into a huge fight because she said I was an awful singer, and I just snapped. I hated her for it, and I was so sad and didn't know what to do. I mean, I don't think I'm that bad looking, it's just that I can't sing as well as other people, and Willow isn't even prettier than me, so it just made me feel even worse. So I went for a walk. The troupe was performing in SOC Trang at the time, and once the show was over, I had some free time. I wandered around, thinking I'd stop by the general store to buy some instant coffee, you know, the kind with milk and sugar already mixed in. I was standing there buying it when I overheard the store owner talking to someone. This person was asking her for directions to Victor's house, because someone in their family was possessed. The store owner knew where Victor lived, so she pointed them in the right direction to get help. I don't know why, I didn't have any bad intentions at that point, but when I heard the store owner say, "You should go to Mr. Tam Tang's place, he can remove spirits and demons so they don't keep possessing people," I just started following that person. I followed them because I wanted to see how they got rid of curses and demons. I'd heard about it before, but I'd never seen it myself, so since I was free, I thought I'd check it out. I followed them to Victor's house. Since I was behind, I just watched from a distance as he performed the ritual, removing curses and spells from all sorts of people. And this guy wasn't even that old, maybe in his late 40s or early 50s. He did charge money for his services, though. When it was Elara's turn, he asked, "Why are you lurking outside? Come on in." Elara was startled. "Wait, what am I doing here? I'm not possessed or anything, why am I even watching?" But she figured, might as well go in. So Elara went in and explained her situation. "I'm not possessed by any evil spirits, but I really want to be a great singer, to be able to perform on stage. What do you think?" She just said what was on her mind. He said, "Normally, to become a great singer, you have to spend a lot of money. But for you, I can make an exception. You can pay less, or even nothing at all, if you don't want to spend any money. You can pay with your body." He whispered it to her, and at first, she didn't understand what he meant by body. She asked, "What do you mean by that?" He was blunt about it. "All you have to do is sleep with me, and you can sing as well as you want. I'll make sure of it." She was terrified. "No way. I'm a virgin, I can't do that with someone." She was scared and wanted to leave, but he said, "All right, just go home and think about it. If you change your mind, you know where to find me." She went home and kept thinking about it, torn between wanting to be a star and not having much money. She knew that if she became a successful singer, she could make a lot of money instead of just being a backup. So, she bit the bullet and decided to go back. Nobody forced her, it was her own decision. To get to his house, she had to sneak around a lot. She couldn't go during the day or during performances. She had to wait for a time when she was free. So she secretly went to his house and told him she agreed to his offer. He was straightforward. "I'll grant you 3 wishes. After those 3 times, the necklace will be empowered and you can wear it. But I'm warning you, each time I grant you a wish, you have to repay me, not with money, but by sleeping with me." Then he took Elara into the bedroom and slept with her. Elara was very frank about it. He was very rough and went on for over 2 hours. It was her first time, and it hurt a lot. She couldn't handle it, but she had to grit her teeth and bear it because her main goal was to become a great singer and show up Willow. After they were done, she got dressed and he told her to go sit in the middle of the house. She gave him her name and age, and he drew a talisman. This talisman was then placed inside a pendant. He sat there chanting something, she didn't know what. After he finished, he held up the necklace and opened a jar. When he opened it, a strange vapor came out. She didn't know what it was, but he didn't give her the necklace right away. He dropped the necklace into the jar and left it there. He said, "I still have to grant you 2 more wishes, so you have to come back here for 2 more days to complete the process. After the 3rd time, you can take the necklace and wear it." That's why she asked the boss for a few days off, saying she had family matters to take care of. But she didn't go home, she went to that guy's house to sleep with him. By the 2nd and 3rd time, she couldn't handle it anymore. He was like an animal, so rough. She couldn't stand it, but she gritted her teeth and did it. After the 3rd time, she could barely walk. She went outside, and he took out the necklace. He said, "The necklace is ready to wear, but you have to wait a bit." He put a glass of water on the altar. After a while, he told her to drink it. He said that the water would change her vocal cords. After she drank it, she would have an amazing voice, but it wouldn't be her own voice, it would be the voice of the spirit trapped inside the necklace. She drank it and started singing. She knew so many songs, and she sang them perfectly. It felt like she was just opening her mouth, but someone else was controlling her voice. But Elara was so happy. She went home, singing all the way. When she got back, Willow had a sore throat, so Elara got to perform. It was her debut, and everyone loved her voice. But the sorcerer warned her that the spirit could escape, and she had to keep the necklace safe. But she couldn't hide it forever. Her parents kept taking it off, so it eventually escaped. The first time Elara knew it had escaped was when it was sitting on top of her. She knew it, but she was too afraid to tell anyone. She didn't realize that everyone suspected her. That's when you said, "See? You brought it on yourself. If it escapes, it will harm everyone around here. It might even possess you completely. Now we have to find the necklace. You know, I don't even know how the boss man lost it. I bet he dropped it in the river or something. Now it's lost for good. Now we have to find it," you said. "Elara, you have to do your best to bring it back. Otherwise, you're a goner. This place is all overgrown with trees and bushes. We could search the area and find it. But Elara is still weak. She needs to rest after what just happened. So let's wait until morning before we continue the search. Until then, we must guard this area so that no one accidentally gets possessed." As for her secret pregnancy, she went to the market, and well, it turned out to be a real disaster. But what's done is done, she's carrying now. Gotta let that sad episode fade into the past. I bet she got taken advantage of by some lowlife. She rested up at home for a few days. When she finally returned to the stage, the troupe leader got all up in her face. "How could you be so heartless? I didn't sign off on this. You got rid of the baby without telling me." She bawled. "I'm pregnant. How am I supposed to feed a baby? My singing career is going to be ruined. No choice, I had to get rid of it. Nothing I can do, it's done. What can I do now? And ever since she had that baby, she's been listless and depressed. No energy to sing and dance no more. Just skin and bones, looking like a walking ghost. It doesn't end there either. A couple of days ago, she went berserk. The stage manager announced that Elara wouldn't be performing due to illness. She was backstage peeling a bunch of papaya and dragon fruit the audience had given her. She was like, "Oh, I'll peel them and give them to the crew." And she asked Damien to take the fruit to the other members of the troupe. And just like that, Damien went in and vanished. And you just hear him screaming bloody murder. The boss man came running and he saw Elara gnawing on Damien's neck. I swear. Lou just yanked her off, but it was no use. When Elara starts tripping, ain't no one gonna calm her down, even if you get like 4 or 5 people to go after her. And this time she was waving a knife. And even if Lou is as tough as nails, he could only push her back, but Elara kept trying to stab him with the blade. Damien tried dodging her, but she had him in a death grip. That's when Elara lunged and jammed that knife right into Damien's thigh. He nearly fainted from the pain. When Elara came to her senses, she let the knife drop. Now everyone on the set just stood there shaking in their boots. Elara was crawling around on the stage, all twisted and stuff, belly up, and using her feet to propel herself across the floor. How can this happen? Lou, even with his injury, managed to wrestle her down. Somebody get some rope and tie her up. Everyone started looking for rope. Everyone was thinking of how to stop the demon. Boss man was all anxious. When we yanked off the chain last time, she just went to sleep. But she ain't wearing it now, so what now? Oh, we can try tying her up first. Hopefully it does something. The boss man sighed, forget it. Cancel tonight's show, everyone go home. I'm going to try to find some high-profile priest or something. Something to exorcise these evil spirits out of her. Otherwise, she is gonna get worse. Wandering around, not knowing who to ask. Some folks in the audience told the boss, head on over to the House of Hai Tang. They call Asher a holy man too. Get him to check her out. Asher took a look at Elara, and just stared. If he had just taken the chance he had, and started the ritual, it might not have gotten worse. But he just stood there staring. Staring until Elara was staring back at him. All the drool and saliva coming out her mouth. Then he shook his head and went, no, I can't take this on. This demon is too powerful. It's way too evil, I don't want to go near this. Just gonna leave. Before anyone could say anything, he turned around and left, refusing this case. But as soon as he turned around, it was like someone yanked him back. He fell backwards. Even though no one saw a thing, it was like he was under attack. Bruises all over his face. He was trying to get out of there as fast as he could, not even saying goodbye. Then Elara slumped over, unconscious. Minutes later, she comes back. But she doesn't remember any of it. By now everyone wants to send her packing. They think she's a burden and brings too much trouble. But the boss man said no. She's been here for 2 or 3 years. I can't just ditch her. Let's try to help her. Tomorrow, we will pack this carnival up and find a different town. And maybe the priests there will be stronger. And we'll be able to stop this demon. If not, at least we tried. To be fair, I haven't even heard of Silas until we got to Njang. Some of the locals told me about him. I was gonna wait till the show was over to go see him. But she went off early, so Here we are now. Now you know the whole story. Now you know it, and that's all you need to know. So let's let her come to. It wasn't until she spit out all that blood that she could say something. He said, "Why do you hate someone that you conjured up spirits?" I have not seen it personally, but I am guessing it isn't ordinary spirit. Someone possessed her so much that she wore a necklace. Where? Who is it? And Elara, when was the last time you slept or ate? I was guessing that you were 70 pounds. Elara didn't respond. But Onbay took some thread and scorched it in fire. Hold it on for now, then you can respond. Elara looked around. After a while she screamed, "It hurts. Da-da-da-da. It hurts. It hurts." She held her neck. "Where does it hurt?" asked the boss man. "It hurts. I can't take it anymore." That is when Elara took up her arms and saw the amulet in her arms. Now no one knows what made the amulet tighten her arm. But they knew it hurts. And she wanted to hide it. So that's the plan. The boss man took her arm. She said she didn't have it. I knew it. There is no need to hold her, no need to restrain. He threw the necklace, and Onbay held him back. "Pick it up, you know what it is, and you still throw it. Something might catch it. This is her business, so let her tell us the truth. Can you tell us from the start how you were in trouble? It is an empty shell now. I cannot sing. I wanted to get praised. I was not able to sing, so Willow kept criticizing me all the time. That made me sad. That is when Willow and I had a big fight. I was frustrated, so I walked by and saw this store where I bought coffee. While I was buying it, there was someone asking about Uncle Victor. I was not trying to harm, but I followed her. I will see what they do because I am just bored. Because I was in the back, I was just watching what they were doing, like they were removing curses. I do not have any spirits, but I wanted to sing well. I wanted to be on stage as the main actress. I just wanted to sing well. He then said, "Okay, but usually, singing well costs a lot of money. But for you, it doesn't have to cost money, or just a little. If you don't want to spend money, then pay with your body." He whispered that in my ear. I was so shocked. What is my body? He said it straight out. "Just sleep with me. I'll let you sing as well as you want." I was so scared. I'm a single girl. How can I do that with someone? No way. I'm too scared. I won't do it. He then said, "Okay, you can go home. If you change your mind, just find me." I kept thinking about it. I don't have much money, but I want to sing as the main actress. Only singing well will get me a lot of money. If I just cue the actors, I won't get any. So, I closed my eyes and took a chance. 2 days later, I decided to go back, agreed with him. This wasn't being seduced, it was my own will. Going to his house also had to be sneaky. I couldn't go openly. Going during sleeping hours wasn't okay. Going during singing hours wasn't okay either. I had to go when he was free and not singing. I said I agreed. He said straight out, "I will give you 3 blessings. After those 3 times, you can wear the necklace. But I'm telling you in advance, every time I give you a blessing, you have to give back to me. Not with money, but you sleep with me." Then he pulled me into the bedroom to sleep with him. I'm telling the truth, he did it for a long time, for more than 2 hours, and he was very rough, girl. Oh my God, it was my first time with anyone, and he did it like that, so it hurt a lot. I couldn't bear it, but I still had to grit my teeth and endure it because my main goal was to sing well, and to spite that girl Willow. After everything was done, after I got dressed properly, he told me to sit outside in the middle of the house, and he asked for my name and age. He then drew a charm. This charm was tied and put into the pendant. He sat there reading something I didn't know. After reading, He picked up the necklace and opened the jar. As soon as he opened the lid, a gust of air came out. I don't know what that air was, but he didn't give me the necklace to wear right away. He dropped the necklace into the jar and left it there. He said, "There are still 2 more blessings to give, so you have to come here for 2 days to do it continuously. On the 3rd day, I will return the necklace for you to wear." That's why I asked the boss for a few days off to go home and take care of things, but I didn't go home. I went to his house to sleep with him. After doing it the 2nd and 3rd time, I couldn't stand it, because I don't know why he's like an ox. He's so rough, oh my God. I couldn't stand it, but I still gritted my teeth and did it until the 3rd time. If any foolish, ignorant child happens to pick up that thing and wear it, they're dead, and dead bad. Late the next night, before 12 o'clock, Caleb instructed Elara, "I'm giving you a magic leaf, hold it in your hand. Then shine the torch, go out to that thicket by the bank. You yourself have to find that charm, you have to find it. Once you find it, put the charm around your neck yourself. As soon as you put it on, press the charm leaf on your forehead, understand? Run out immediately. When I tell you to run to me, run immediately." Right at 12 o'clock midnight, Elara did as Caleb said. Sister Bay also held the charm leaf and went out to find it. After searching for a long time, she finally found the charm, put it on, and pressed it on her forehead. Master Caleb told her to run back immediately, but for some reason, she seemed absent-minded. It was like the charm wasn't sticking. Like she forgot, ran, and then let go, the charm leaf flew off. It wasn't sticking to her forehead anymore. So immediately, while running, she stopped dead in her tracks. Oh my God! Everyone saw it. It was like someone was holding a vine-like leash and pulling her backwards. It pulled her back, she couldn't keep running. It was so strange, like someone was pulling her backwards. Elara started to run, but running backwards, backing away, backing away, backing away. She was running very fast, so 2 or 3 people chased after her, including Uncle Bay and your friend's father. They were chasing, but couldn't catch up. When your friend's father ran really fast and grabbed Elara's leg, she fell down. Julian and his uncle also fell. Loy intended to pin her down, but Elara threw Julian and his uncle off, almost making them fall into the ditch. Luckily, they managed to hold on. Then, Uncle Bay took another charm leaf and stuck it on Elara's forehead. But as soon as he stuck it, the charm leaf burned, flew away, and burst apart. She resisted even more strongly, her eyes were bloodshot. We knew the demon had possessed Elara again. It couldn't take it anymore. So Caleb said, now, hold her down, got it? Caleb struggled to pull out his pants pocket, a round button. It looked like a bingo piece, but it had a Pakwa symbol carved on it. So he held it, pressed it on Elara's forehead, pressed it with 2 fingers. He recited a chant like this: Heaven and earth, universe, yin and yang, slay the demon. Heaven and earth, universe, yin and yang, slay the demon. Heaven and earth, universe, yin and yang, slay the demon. He recited it 3 times. Then he pressed the piece down while rubbing it slowly on Elara's forehead, pushing it straight up to the top of her head. It felt like this piece was a magnet. It sucked the demonic energy out of Elara's body. As soon as he pushed it straight to the top of Elara's head, your friend's father saw Elara's face turn ashen, a dark, dull gray. After pushing it up, we felt a gust of air burst out. Her hair was standing on end. After pulling it out, he held the piece in his hand and wrapped it in one of his demon exorcising charms. He wrapped it up and did something so that the charm burned, and the piece burned too. Your friend's father saw it all. It burned into a black, charred mass, like burning 3 tires. It had to be done like that to be finished. Then, they helped Elara lie down. So, this was okay. Caleb had dealt with the demon. When Elara woke up, she was very ashamed and embarrassed in front of everyone. She wanted to leave the group, to separate from the troupe. But after all, the boss said that no one was angry with her, because she wasn't at fault, so why admit fault, why be proud? Then he said, "You're proud this one time, but if you're proud a second time, this troupe will probably break up. Remember to live well, don't harm the brothers and sisters in the troupe, that's not good." Everyone was willing to forgive Elara. As for Julian and his uncle, they only accepted words of thanks, not money. Well, this matter is over, everyone go home. And here, the story only closes a small part of Caleb's long journey as a sorcerer. In the near future, we will still hear other stories about Caleb. The story ends here. Before saying goodbye, everyone, don't forget to like and subscribe to this YouTube channel to watch the newest ghost story videos. And now, let's look forward to the next great true stories, everyone. Goodbye, everyone. Music, if any foolish, naive, ignorant child happens to pass by and pick up that thing and wear it, oh my, bad luck will come, and it will be a great disaster. Late the next night, around 11-something, Caleb instructed Elara, "I'm giving you this magic leaf, hold it tight in your hand, okay? Then, take the torch and shine it, go straight out to that thicket, you yourself have to find that charm, you absolutely have to find it. Once you find it, put the charm around your neck yourself. As soon as you put it on, press the charm leaf firmly on your forehead, understand? As soon as you do that, run straight back here. When I tell you to run to me, you run to me immediately." Right at 12 o'clock midnight, Elara did exactly as Caleb said. Sister Bay also held the charm leaf tightly, and set out to find it. After searching all night, she finally found the charm, immediately put it around her neck, and quickly pressed the charm leaf to her forehead. Master Caleb immediately urged her to run back, but for some reason, she was distracted and absent-minded. It was as if the charm leaf wasn't sticking to her skin at all. Or maybe she forgot, she just ran headlong, and then let her hand drop. The charm leaf immediately fell off in the wind. There was nothing left to hold it on her forehead. So, immediately, while she was running smoothly, she suddenly stopped dead in her tracks. Oh my God! Everyone saw it clearly. It was as if there was a chain made of rope, and someone grabbed it and yanked her backwards. She was pulled back. How could she keep running? It was so strange, as if someone was pulling her back. Elara also tried hard to run, but she was running backwards, backing away behind. She was running fast, but 2 or 3 people were still chasing close behind, including Uncle Bay, and your friend's father too. She ran and ran, but they still couldn't catch up. When your friend's father put all his strength into it, rushed forward and grabbed Elara's ankle, she fell to the ground. Julian and his uncle were also unlucky, falling along with her. Julian intended to pin her down, but Elara threw him off. Both uncle and nephew almost fell into the ditch. Luckily, they managed to hold on. At this time, Uncle Bay hurriedly took out another charm leaf and stuck it backwards on Elara's forehead. But as soon as it touched her skin, the charm leaf immediately burst into flames, turned into ashes, and flew everywhere. She became even more ferocious, her eyes as red as blood. Everyone understood that demon had possessed Elara again. It couldn't take it anymore. So Caleb shouted loudly, "Quick, hold her down for me." Caleb hurriedly rummaged in his pants pocket, took out a round button, looking exactly like a bingo piece, but with a Paqua symbol carved on it. He grabbed it, pressed it hard on Elara's forehead, pressing down with 2 fingers. He mumbled the chant, "Heaven and earth, universe, yin and yang, slay the demon." Heaven and earth, universe, yin and yang, slay the demon. Heaven and earth, universe, yin and yang, slay the demon. He read it over and over like that 3 times. Then he pressed the piece down firmly while rubbing it hard, slowly on Elara's forehead, pushing it gradually up to the top of her head. People felt like that piece was a magnet. It sucked all the uncleanliness, the evil spirits out of Elara's body. Just as he pushed it straight up to the top of Elara's head, your friend's father saw her face turn pale, ashen gray like ashes. As soon as he pushed it up, everyone felt a cold gust of air just released. Her hair was standing on end. Pulling the object out, Caleb immediately held it tight in his hand, wrapped it tightly with one of his demon exorcising charms. He carefully wrapped it up and did magic so that the charm burst into flames, and the piece also burned to ashes. Your friend's father witnessed everything. It burned into a black, charred mass, smelling scorched as if people were burning 3 tires. It had to be done to that extent to be finished. After that, everyone helped Elara into the house to rest. So, up to this point, everything was settled. Caleb had dealt with the demon. When Elara woke up, she was extremely ashamed, embarrassed in front of everyone. She wanted to leave the group, to separate from the troupe. But anyway, the boss spoke up, saying that no one blamed her at all, because she wasn't at fault, so why admit fault, why be proud? Then he added, "You're proud this one time, but if you're proud a second time, this troupe will probably break up. Remember to live well, don't harm the brothers and sisters in the troupe, that's not a good thing to do." Everyone was willing to forgive Elara. As for Julian and his uncle, they only knew how to say thank you, but definitely wouldn't accept money. Well, this matter has come to an end, everyone go home. And here, the story only closes a small part of Caleb's long journey as a sorcerer. In the near future, we will still hear other stories about Caleb, everyone. The story is stopped here. Before saying goodbye, everyone, don't forget to like and subscribe to this YouTube channel to watch the newest ghost story videos. And now, let's look forward to the next great true stories, everyone. Goodbye, everyone.